Hello, welcome back, Nick Lenz's movie review. This is triple shot. This is not triple shot. Triple feature number 8. I'm sorry I haven't do one of these in a few days. I just had to find, just like with the comic corner, I had to find stuff to review. And luckily enough, I have something to review. Basically, for this triple feature, I'm going to review the first 3 Nightmare on Elm Street films, starting with the original film. Written and directed, I believe also produced as well. No, he didn't produce it. Basically, written and directed by the awesome Wes Craven. Now, unlike the later sequels, which they were different, this one was more of a darker tone than the sequels. Now, basically, Robert Englund was awesome as Freddy Krueger. And here's the disc for the first episode, the first film. The first film. Let's see, what is the runtime for the first film? The runtime for the first film is... Let's see here. It doesn't say in the disc. Let's see if it has on here. Here we go. The first film was an hour and 32 minutes. It's not a bad length per se, because normally each known horror film is usually about an hour and a half anyway, so that's actually pretty good length. And the film's got great special effects for mid-80s production work for movies. The films are made by New Line Cinema, which I have heard recently they're doing another remake, which I'll talk about soon. But over this episode and next couple episodes, I'm going to be going over the Friday the 13th series. Nightmare on Elm Street. The first film is a really good film to watch. Basically, Robert Englund puts on a great performance. Heather Langenkamp is a pretty decent actress. I can't say the same for the actress who played her character in the remake, which I'll talk about soon. But I don't want to spoil too much of this film, despite the fact this film, believe it or not, is 32 years old. But it is still a great movie to watch. Pretty much, yeah, he shows up. I mean, his first appearance in the film is simply in a dream, and he's stretching out his long arms to cover a whole alley. Yeah, and they don't give much of a backstory here. Basically, his backstory is that, of course, a lot of people know about this because the film is over 30 years old. That apparently he was a child killer and very heavily implied to be a child molester, which they did do that in the remake. That apparently he got off on technicality. There was technicality he was let off, so the parents of his victims burned him to death. As what happened after that, they didn't explain it to the 6th film. But yeah, it's a great film, and I give the film a. It's an awesome film. It is definitely worth the watch. I give it 9 out of 10. The second film, Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge. For a lot of people who have seen this film, they consider this to be the gayest movie of the whole series because of all the gay overtones. The film itself came out in it came out a year after the first film in 1985, and I think it's a pretty decent film. The only problem is Freddy's not in it very much, but the dog thing, which is in this very film. It's referenced in one comic book published by a company that no longer exists. But I kind of like it. It's a pretty decent movie for what it is. I don't want to spoil too much of these films. I don't want to spoil too much of these films because they're pretty good films. Just like I like the writing at some points for these films. Okay. Now I get that film 9 out of 10. It's a great film. Now I've gone to Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors. For a lot of people, this is their favorite film in the series. It kind of is for me, but it wasn't the first one I saw of the series, which I'll get to in the next episode. This film was the last time that Wes Craven was involved with the Nightmare on Elm Street series, because after this, he didn't come back to the series to get into Wes Craven's New Nightmare. So it took him... Let's see, that came out in 94, and this came out in... excuse me, 87. So pretty much after this, he was not involved with the series for 7 years. Excuse me. Plus, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is noteworthy for being the first movie appearance of Lawrence Fishburne. Yes, he is right there. He is right next to Patricia Arquette, who is David Arquette's sister. And she was, at one point, when she was married to David Arquette, she was Courtney Cox's sister-in-law. Yep. Lawrence Fishburne does a pretty decent job in this film. He doesn't technically die. And a lot of the stuff in this film is really good. And I do consider this one to be a highlight of the series. And they could have ended here with this, where they ended there, and there's some stop motion here as well. I'm not gonna repeat his famous line because it's kind of a swear. It's like, "Welcome to prime time." I'm not gonna say it, but it's a funny line. But it's a fun movie to watch. I give it 9.5 out of 10 because it's a really cool movie to watch. All right, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be triple feature number 9. And episode 43. I'm sorry this one wasn't too long because I don't want to spoil too much of these movies. Because these people die in very, well, interesting ways. Okay? So in the next episode, it's movies 4 through 6. Okay? So until then, I will see you there. Bye.